Welcome everyone to Integral Yoga. Thanks for joining me for our brief time together today. We're going to start out with a very brief intro to one of my most favorite texts called the Tao Te Ching. What's wonderful about the Tao Te Ching is that it is well, first of all, it comes out of China, written about 2,500 years ago by Lao Tzu. We're not sure if Lao Tzu actually wrote it, but they're short chapters. And I think they're very applicable to our yoga practice. Also, they very much influenced Buddhism. The Tao Te Ching and Taoism as a whole influenced Buddhism when it made the move from India into China. So Taoism was already present in China before Buddhism came in. Taoism is native to China. Buddhism is not. And when Buddhist monks traveled from India to China to spread the Dharma, they met teachings that were already there. Similar to as Buddhism has gone from Japan to the United States, it's meeting a religion that's already here in the United States, namely Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and other religions. But in those days, Buddhism was meeting primarily Taoism, Confucianism, and the shamanistic traditions that were already in China. Taoism, when it meets Buddhism, it has a profound effect on it. And the result of that connection, amongst other things, was Zen. I want to look at a particular chapter 12 of the Tao Te Ching. I've been looking at this off and on for the past couple of months, and I think it can be very helpful and very practical for our class this afternoon. The 5 colors blind the eye. The 5 tones deafen the ear, the 5 flavors dull the mouth. Racing through the field and hunting, make the mind wild. Searching for precious goods leads astray. Therefore the sage attends to the belly and not to what she or he sees. She rejects the latter and chooses the former. So one thing we need to know about religious texts like this is that they can be read on multiple levels. There's a literal level and there's a symbolic level. There's a figurative level. So I want to look at this not from the literal level, but from a figurative level, symbolic level. This idea of racing, particularly this 4th line here, says, racing through the field and hunting, make the mind wild. And think about so what does it mean that, this was written 2,500 years ago when hunting was a thing. And hunting, it could have been done as a sport, similar to the way it's done today in some ways. So hunting is referring to that, putting ourselves in that mind that is seeking, that's grasping for something that it doesn't have, that wants to catch something that's moving. And what happens to the mind when we chase after things? What happens to the mind? It gets agitated. It creates wildness in the mind, not in a positive sense. Our mind goes all over the place because we're constantly in desire of something we don't have. And the Tao is about returning to ourself and seeing that we already have what we need, that we can find contentment without seeking after other things, without racing after other things, without being in a rush. So this is something to consider during our class. It talks about the sage attending to the belly. That does not mean that they just eat food. It means paying less attention to what comes in through the senses. It doesn't mean eliminating what comes into the senses, but when we have lots of things, the 5 colors blind the eyes, the things that come into our senses through the eyes, all kinds of images, fast images, and they pull us away from our center. The sage attends to the center, attends to the belly, not what he or she sees, right? And so this is very practical for us, I think, as we practice yoga, because that's what we want to do, is we want to not spend too much time focusing on what we are looking at outside of ourselves, right? Not focusing on what I'm doing, but focusing on your own internal experience, tending to the belly, tending to the center of your body, and listening to that. Okay. Okay, so let's take a moment to tend to the belly. Have a seat and rest our hands on our knees, lengthen the spine upwards, lower the eyes, leaving them partially open. Find the breath, feel the abdominal muscles move with the breathing. Okay, let's begin to circle. Let's do some circles, just circling around here a few times. And in the opposite direction. Okay, side to side a few times. And let's reach the arms up overhead, just lengthening upwards, interlacing the fingers up, reaching, and back down. Making our way onto all fours. Just do a few cat-cows. Stretch out the back a little bit. All right, and curling the toes under the feet, come into downward dog. Let's walk the feet forward to the hands, round the back, bend the knees, and roll up. As we're upright, as we're standing, let's reach the arms up overhead, take hold of the right wrist, pull it to the left. Back to center, take hold of the left wrist, pull it to the right. And back to center. All right. When you're ready, come up to the front of your mat. Placing the palms together in front of the heart. Reaching the arms up overhead, lock the thumbs, arch the upper back a little bit, look up, and fold forward. Let's bring the hands down towards the floor,
Feel free to have your knees bent here if you like. Have them bent as you reach for the floor. Shake out the head a little bit. And let's step the right foot back. Stepping the right foot back, bending the left knee. And rock a little bit here. All right, opening up that right hip a bit. And let's step the left foot back. Come into plank. Feel free to lower your knees if you want to, or you can keep them up. Really engaging your core here. Strong through the shoulders. Let's lower the knees down. Okay, so hands and knees on the mat. I'm going to bend the elbows. Keep the tailbone lifted and bring the head through the hands. Lifting the head, neck, and shoulders up for cobra. Press into the fingertips here. And lift the chin. Tuck the elbows into the side. Squeeze the shoulders together. Let's return to all fours for cat-cow. Still a few more cat-cows. At your own pace. And back to downward dog. Downward dog, we're just kind of getting a sense of our body, feeling our body, drawing the heels down, pressing into the heels of the hands, lowering the head, open up the shoulders. Okay, step the right foot forward. Your left knee could be on the mat or off, either way. Doing a little rocking here on the ball of the foot, the back foot. And stepping the left foot forward, come into a forward fold. Maybe your knees are bent here, maybe they're straight. Let's lift the head up. You can hold on to the shins here. Lifting the head all the way up to standing, arms overhead, a little back bend, and palms together in front of the heart. Okay, let's try that again. Arms up overhead, and fold forward. Okay, lifting the head part way. Let's step both feet back for plank. Nice, you can adjust how high you have your tailbone. It could be almost like a downward dog or kind of shifting forward. Let's lower down, lower all the way down, come up for cobra, back to downward dog. We'll bring the right leg forward. Right leg forward. Just pause here for a few moments. When you're ready, bring your left knee down, uncurl your back toes, bring the hands to the knees. And then we'll lift the head up. Just lifting the head up, just having your hands down at your side. You can also experiment with having your hands on the floor as you lift your head up. Right? Check that out. Check that, how much you want to kind of draw that left hip forward as you lift your chin. And then let's uncurl the back toes. Draw the head towards the knee. So we're straightening both knees, drawing the head towards the knee, tucking the chin a little bit. And breathe. Feel some sensations in the back of that right leg. How close you bring your head to your knee is up to you. You can always come out of the pose and then go back into it. Sometimes that helps to get a better stretch, right? Coming out, lifting our head up and then going back down. Feel free to bend your knee too if you need to here. Okay, let's come back to plank. Lower down, upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. And left foot forward. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Today I'm using a special sequence from this book. So you'll have to forgive me for looking at it from time to time. I just want to try it out with you and we'll see how you feel about it afterwards. This is especially for arm balances and inversions. So we'll try a few of those. All right. Okay, when you're ready, let's lower the right knee down. Lift the head up. Again, you can have your hands on your knees here as you draw your head back, or bring your hands to your side. Maybe getting a deeper bend in the knee so that the hands come down, lifting the chin up. All right, from here, we're going to come into a standing pose by raising the right knee, straightening the legs, and drawing the head towards the left knee. Just be careful, just be mindful of your low back here. Drawing the right hip forward a little bit. Lengthening, keeping the back long. All right, let's step the right foot forward when you're ready. Step it, hop it forward. Tuck the chin, head to forehead, head to knees. Lift up halfway. Coming all the way up, arms overhead. And palms together in front of the heart. All right. Okay, ready? Palms together in front of the heart. Let's come into chair pose, bending the knees, reaching the arms up. Looking up towards the ceiling. And then folding forward. Step both feet back for a plank. Lower down. Cobra. Back to downward dog. And now ready, step your right foot forward. Really push into the heel, the right heel. Engage the muscles of your right thigh. Right? Really engage the muscles of your right thigh because we're going to release our hands for supporting our back as we lift our back up. Bringing our arms into warrior two. Arms right over the legs. Opening up from the center of the sternum, out. Okay, let's try reverse warrior. Reaching that right arm over the head. And then cartwheeling it forward for an angle, side angle pose. So you can rest your right elbow on your knee. Reaching the left arm out over your head. And let's continue with the left hand down to the mat, right hand down to the mat. Step the right foot back for plank. Do a flow, ready? Lower down, tuck the elbows in. Lift up for cobra. Downward dog. And we're going to switch to the left side. So step the left foot forward. Drop the heel, the back heel down. Step into the left heel. Reach the arms out over the legs. And hold. And 3, 2, 1. Reverse warrior. And extended triangle. Left arm to the left knee. Right arm overhead. Bend the left knee. All right, let's continue the right arm down to the mat, left arm down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Plank. Tuck the elbows in as you lower down. Cobra. Push into the heels of the hands. Keep the elbows in, shoulders back and down as you lift the chin. Downward dog. And stepping the right foot forward. Push into that right heel. Lift the arms overhead. Warrior 1. Arms come up overhead, looking up towards the ceiling. All right, I'm going to transition to triangle. Right arm coming down to the right leg. Left arm up. Really make sure the low left side of the back is engaged. Right, keep the back engaged here. Extend through the trunk. And externally rotate the right thigh. Externally rotate the left thigh. Find your breath. Stay in the belly. All right, let's lower that left hand down to the mat. Right hand down. Bend the right knee. Step the right foot back. Plank. Lower down to cobra. Downward dog. And let's do the left side. Step the left foot forward. Come up. Sweep the arms up overhead. And transition to triangle. Externally rotating the thighs. Looking up towards the ceiling. Remember to breathe, stay in your center. Not focusing on images. Focus on what your body is telling you here. All right, let's lower that right hand down, bend the left knee, bring the left hand down to the mat, slide or step your left foot back, plank. Squeeze the shoulders together as you lower down. Cobra, downward dog. Let's step both, walk or hop your feet forward to the front of the mat. We'll lift the head halfway, back down, all the way up. Let's just come into standing. All right, ready? So coming into standing, interlace the hands behind the back. Interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together here. Lift the arms up behind you. Open up the rib cage. Feel that opening in the ribs. The intercostal muscles there that surround your rib cage. Breathe. Breathe into the lungs. Let's fold forward. Bring the head towards the knees. Bring the hands over the head. Head towards the knees, hands over the head. You can kind of wiggle or move your arms side to side a little bit if you want to. All right, let's lower the hands down. Step back, both legs for downward. Actually, just step back the right leg, then the left leg. Come into downward dog. You can rock a little bit forward and backward if you want. And let's bring the right knee into pigeon. So for pigeon, starting out in downward dog, bring the right knee in towards your right hand. You can keep the back toes curled and it's kind of walking this is a great hip opener. Just walk the hands back towards the hips, open up the front side of the body. All right, now let's lower let's bring the elbows down to the mat. Get a little bit closer to the ground. Feel those hips opening up a little bit more. You can kind of rock a little bit left and right on your elbows. All right, from here, let's swing the left foot around, Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Maybe a little wiggling here. Clasp the hands around the toes. Lengthen the back up. And then from here, we're going to move into boat. So let's reach the feet. Rude to put your feet in somebody's face. I'm going to turn a little bit here. All right, make our body into the shape of a boat. You can have your knees bent or straight. You could start out with your knees bent and then straighten them, even holding on to your legs or releasing. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's come back to Baddha Konasana. Just lengthening up a little bit, drawing the shoulders together. Breathe here. All right. And now we're going to do pigeon on the other side. So go ahead and bring your left knee forward. Bring your right leg behind you. See how my foot is here. And you have some play here with your knee. Have some play here in your back. See what works for you. Walking your hands back towards your hips a little bit, maybe. Curling the back toes. You could draw your left hip down to the mat a little bit. Maybe coming onto your elbows at this point. You want to come down onto the elbows, go ahead and do that. So we're just kind of moving around here to see if we can find some space or some opening in our hips. Pigeon pose, wonderful pose for opening the hips up. All right, when you're ready, let's return to boat. Lift the feet off the ground, hold on to the knees, and then release the knees when you're ready. Engage those core, feel those core muscles tightening up. You stretch the legs forward, keep the back lifted up and long, long through the back. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet, got another nice hip opener, bringing the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. And then sliding or walking the hands forward. So rounding the back and coming forward here. Notice how your hips are feeling. Notice how your back's doing here. You might feel some sensations here in your hips and the insides. How far forward you come with your hands, you know, it's going to vary. Depends on the day, depends on how your body's feeling. Again, come back to the center, back to the belly. Tuck the chin a little bit. All right, from here we do some more hip openers. This is going to work the outsides of the hips. So let's bring the left leg straight, right foot. I'm going to hold on to the right foot with both hands. Just clasp the foot and clasp the hands around the foot. We're going to do a little bit of rock the baby. There's a number of ways to do this pose. See if you can draw your foot back up towards your ear. Doesn't matter if you can't get it up to your ear, we're just going in that direction. Moving it in that direction. Just, you can feel this. I don't know about you, but I can certainly feel this on the kind of outside external part of my hip. Nice stretch here. Just drawing it back. And at the same time, like my back is obviously rounding. Ideally, you know, I want to move towards getting my back upright. All right, now try. Look, when I start to straighten my back up, my foot doesn't go nearly as close to my knee. I'm sorry, my foot doesn't go nearly as close to my ear. If I round my back, well, I can do it. But what if we kept our back upright? Try it like that. All right, let's try the other leg. Sometimes there's differences between what one leg can do versus the other leg. Just clasping my hands around my right foot, drawing that knee back, rocking a little bit here, just all opening up the hips. Let's see how your back's doing. Keeping the back upright as you do this. Look at all that distance I have between my foot and my ear. You know, some people can get their foot all the way back to their ear. I cannot do that. At least not today. But I can certainly feel the stretch here in the outside of my hip. And that's really what we're aiming for. Not the form of the pose, but the spirit of it. All right. This next one is perhaps a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to use bricks for this one. If you don't have bricks, maybe blocks or even thick books you could use. So this is an arm balance, and this takes quite a bit of strength. I would recommend having something for your hands to sit on, because this can be hard on the wrists. I've had some wrist injuries, and I want to just take lots of caution here with my wrists, and I recommend you do as well if you have wrist issues. All right. So for this one, we're actually going to take our left foot, right leg straight. Left foot comes
over the left arm. So just kind of putting it up there on my left arm, pointing my left toe, pointing my right toe, and bringing my hands to these bricks here, because I'm going to lift my body up now. Lift my foot off the ground. Right? Just put yourself back down for a second. I'll change the angle so you can see a different angle. You could do this without any blocks, but I found it really strenuous on the wrist, so I don't want to do it that way. And I really highly recommend you just listen to what your body's telling you here if you feel ready. So there's stages we can do here. First stage, stage one, sit on the floor, bring the left arm over top of the right, kind of putting it up near the shoulder maybe. That might be enough, just doing that. And of course, my back's rounded here. Then, hands to the blocks, pointing the toes, and lifting. Right? Just really engaging your core muscles, squeezing the core, and back down. All right, let's try the other leg. I'm going to do the other leg. Again, listen to your body here. Straighten out that left leg. The right arm comes under the leg. It's almost like you're trying to carry your leg on your shoulder. Right? And it's our back's rounded. This is a balancing pose. Okay. You could just stay here. You know, if it doesn't go that high, maybe it comes to your forearm. Just stay here. Try it like that. Okay, once you feel that your leg is where you want it to be, remembering that there's not a right way to do this, find your blocks. Remember to smile. And let's lift up. Really engaging the core here. And 3, 2, 1, and send back down. All right. Congratulate yourself on that. Good work. One more we're going to try. One more arm balance. Okay, this one. Go ahead and come up onto your feet. Knees raised. We take our arms underneath our legs. You might have to lift your bum up a little bit higher and onto the bricks. So your arms, both arms now are resting on the triceps. So the muscle in the upper back part of the arms, lifting the feet off the ground. See if we can clasp our feet together. Maybe try the other side. Again, lots of core muscle here. Release. Remember, you can do this in stages. You don't have to do everything. Maybe for you today, it's just resting your arms, resting your legs on your arm, on your triceps. That might be enough. You know, it's a nice hip opener. And you can just kind of draw yourself towards maybe getting your feet off the ground at some point. Right? Maybe just getting your feet off the ground. Okay, let's take a rest. Putting those blocks to the side. And I'm going to do let's open our back a little bit here. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and come to standing. Stretch the neck, the back. Interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze the shoulders together. Fold over so that the forehead comes down towards the knees. And the arms come over the head. Feel that nice stretch in the shoulders, in the arms, the back. Shake out the head a little bit. Remember to breathe. There goes my glass of that.
Just see if you can relax in this pose. Just take it easy. Find an easy feeling in your body here. Enjoy it. All right, now let's release that. We're going to start doing some inversions. All right, and I really suggest to you on these inversions, you do only what you feel comfortable doing. Make sure to tuck in your shirt. Try it when you try doing inversions. And we're going to just go into the beginning parts of headstand. So for headstand, let me, you may want to be next to a wall for this. Headstand is a lot of fun. It takes some work, but it can be a very enjoyable pose. So we're not going to do the full headstand, but just kind of laying the groundwork for it. Okay, so first is to bring the elbows down to the mat, clasp the hands. Elbows are just under the shoulders. So you're making like a V shape with your arms, from your hands to your elbows. It's a V shape, and then we place the top of our head, the crown of our head, on the mat. So your head, the back of your head is resting in your hands. We'll lift up our knees. So you feel the weight of your body come into your forearms. Also, I should mention here, the crown of my head is not touching the floor. All right, so this takes a lot of shoulder strength. And just being in this pose, just lifting our knees off of the ground may be enough for us, right? You might feel that. This is a great inversion, just this. With your feet on the ground, head is off the ground, but just by like a quarter of an inch. And I'm pressing the back of my head into my hands. Breathe, make sure to breathe. Now, if you want, you can walk your feet forward, bending your knees. This puts a little bit more strain on the shoulders and neck. Make sure to keep pressing the head into the hands. 3, 2, 1. All right, congratulate yourself. Let's come into child's pose. Stretch the arms up the mat. Lower the forehead down. So for headstand, so we just did the beginning kind of stages of headstand. From here, go to lifting the feet up, unwinding the legs, and straightening them up. And then coming out of it, bending the knees, bringing the knees in towards the ribs, and lowering the feet down. So just to give you some idea of where that pose goes. So requiring a lot of shoulder strength there. And it's really has a lot of health benefits. So just working at it where we have been this afternoon, keeping the feet on the ground is incredibly helpful for creating the base that you would need if you ever wish or want or desire to bring the feet up higher or bring the feet up over the head. All right, let's try some other inversions. So the next one is bridge. So go ahead and come onto your back, knees raised, feet close to the body. Press into the heels, lift up the low back, clasp the hands under the back, walk the shoulders together, pressing up through the hips. Wonderful, another wonderful inversion. Just getting that heart up above the head, rests the heart. Push down into the arms. Push the arms down. Lift the hips up higher. Press into the heels. Wonderful stretch here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower down. Stretch out your legs for a few moments. Rest. All right. Let's try shoulder stand. This one too, you could do on the wall if you want. For shoulder stand, we're going to lift the legs up towards the ceiling. Have the hands at your side. Press into your palms. Lift the legs over your head. If you want to do plow, go ahead and do that, or just lift the legs up towards the ceiling. Plow would be bringing your toes over your head. But don't feel you got to do that. Just maybe go straight into shoulder stand. You can also have your feet on the wall here. You don't have to, you could be facing a wall, so your back's to the wall for this. Bring the attention of bring your mind's eye into the base of your throat. This helps to regulate the thyroid gland. So many of us have a dysregulated thyroid, and this helps to regulate it. You can circle your feet around your ankles a few times in either direction. All right, when you're ready to lower your feet over your head, slowly bring the hands down, unwind the back slowly. Take your time here, engage your core, feel the muscles in the bones in your back, spine. Press into your hands as you lower your legs down. See if you can keep your legs straight if possible, but bend them if you need to. And lower down the legs. So get the core engaged here. And let's settle right into deep relaxation. Okay, when you're ready, make fists with your hands. Squeeze your arms tight, squeeze your legs. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Lift up your head, arms and legs. Squeeze tight and release. Just softening the muscles in your arms and legs, face, the core of your body. Let everything rest. We'll just rest in silence for a couple of minutes here. You've been working so hard. Now's the time to absorb the benefits of your practice, focusing on breath, letting go of thoughts and emotions, not letting them go, but just simply watching them from a distance and enjoying this rest. All right, let's roll to one side. You're going to wake up the body in your own time, in your own time. Make your way to a seated posture when you're ready. I'll close with just a very short meditation. If you'd like to Om with me, we do a Om Shanti, 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 just to engage the sound. Sound can be so beneficial, and these Sanskrit words have beneficial healing property to them. Shanti, meaning peace, brings a sense of peace to our body. Om, a very profound syllable, sacred syllable. Take a deep breath in for Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All right, closing our class, closing dedication. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light.
Thank you.
You're welcome.